everybody, it's Patty and I'm back, and keep your fingers crossed that you're actually viewing this video, because this is the first real video I've made over the holidays. And if those of you who have Macs know that there's a new operating system, and iMovie changed totally. So it's not enough that Google had to change everything and we had to go back and learn all of that, and now I'm having to relearn iMovie, and I'm just not good at that. So I have, for the past few days, I have had the hardest time trying to figure out how to get my iMovies uploaded to YouTube. It keeps telling me that it's not in the right format, and it needs MP4, and that's what it is, MP4. So I've been experimenting a lot, trying something new, and hopefully this will work. So I have questions all the time, or requests, people asking me to do an eyeshadow tutorial on how I do my eyes. So I just decided today would be a good day to do it. And if you're interested, then stay tuned. Hey everybody, this side of my face is pretty much done. This side I just have my foundation on and powder. That's all. A little concealer under my eye, but that's all that I have on. So I'm going to start off with my eye. And what I do, first of all, is I tightline. And I'm going to hold my eye up. This is the easiest way for me to do it. And this, for me, makes a huge difference in how my eyes look. It makes my lashes, I have short lashes, it makes my lashes look longer. So I like that. I'm going to just, just give some definition to my bottom waterline. Now I'm using my Bare Minerals eyeshadow, and this is Black Pearl. This is my favorite eyeshadow of all time, and I'll talk more about this later. I'm going to just tap a little down into the lid, and you can see that is probably going to be plenty. Now what I do is just tap it into my brush and then tap it off. And there's, you can see how much I tapped off. And then I don't rub this. I pat it on. I've been wearing this eyeshadow for 17 years. Get a little bit more. And I just pat from the inside up into my crease and just a little above my crease. I'm going to get just a tiny bit more. These eyeshadows last forever. I have a full size one. This is like a little small. I don't know if it's a trial size, but they do last for a long time. I'm going to darken. And Wayne Goss, I remember seeing in a video a long time ago, talks about making a line from the corner of your eye up to the edge of your eyebrow, and your eyeshadow really shouldn't go out any further than that. So this is just a, I don't know what this is, it's just a smaller brush. It's probably an e.l.f. brush. And then I am going to take NYX, and I don't know which color this is, but I will put it in the description bar. And just, I think this is a Bare Minerals brush actually, and it's just a light color, and I'm going to go up under my brow and into the corner of my eye. And then Real Techniques. I'm going to use this to blend. And, you know, I have some really nice brushes, and then I have some drugstore type brushes. And some of them it really doesn't seem to matter. Some of my, like the Real Techniques and some of these e.l.f. brushes, I like just as much as the pricier ones. And we'll just sort of blend that in again. Okay. Now, and by the way, I have this eye falls heavier or further down than this eye, so I have to work at it to try to make them match as best I can. The next thing I'm going to do is take my eyeliner again, and this is Scandale. Is that by Rimmel? Scandalize in the black. And I like to take a Q-tip so that I don't, well, I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to line. A lot of times I use this when I'm doing my tight line. But as you can see, and I'm going to go over here and sort of even my eyes up on the bottom. All right. Mascara. I'm going to use the Covergirl, this new one. I can't remember the name of it, but you've seen it a zillion times. And the number 1 side, and this is where I'm going to use, and I'm going to turn my mirror over to magnifying, because this is where I really like to pull my lashes up, and I can get much closer to my lash line this way. I like this mascara okay. I always use the number 1 side. I don't always use the number 2 side, mainly because I really can't see that there's a big difference in whether or not I use it. Not sure what that is, but let's get that off. Okay, eyebrows. I have such a hard time with my eyebrows. I have no eyebrows. Excuse me, I have the sniffles today. I have no eyebrows, so I've never had to tweeze them, and they're getting thinner the older I get. Before long, they're going to be non-existent. So usually I start with brushing them, and this is, I do not have my glasses on, but it's a Milani. And I just found this the other day, and I tell you what, I've used a lot of brow products, but so far this is probably the favorite one I've ever used. It has a highlighter that you can put under your brow, and then a light brow color, and then a little bit darker. And I think this is, I want to say this is the light brown. I'll put it in the description bar. And it has the little tools that you could use, oops, it fell, use if you absolutely had to. So I have a double-ended brush with a spoolie on the end, and this is what, if I can get in front of the camera here. So I want the brush going at an angle, and rather than use this brush head on, what I do is I use the edge of the brush, and I'm using the darker of the 2 colors, and I'm just getting a little bit of powder on, and then I start right there and I go straight up. I really don't have a tail. There are hairs there, but they're white. So I do that, and then I take the top of the brush and sort of brush it in. Sometimes I use a gel on top of my brows. I don't have one out here, so I'm not going to be using a gel on it today, but sometimes I use a clear gel. And if I feel like it needs just a little bit, I may have gotten too much, but I bet I can brush some of it out. So that's it. That's how I do my brows. I'm going to turn my mirror back around. Okay. Done mascara. I do something a little bit different, and I'm always switching up, but I'd like to do my highlighter before I do my blush or bronzer. And this is the Maybelline, Lumi, whatever, and again, I'll list it down in the description bar. And I do like that. And then pat it in. This also is a good time to clean up this edge of my eyeshadow. And I do it on up into my hairline there. Okay. And then sometimes I take right here, part of the aging, part of the face sagging. Do you have that? Sometimes I take my highlighter, put just a tiny bit there, sometimes a tiny bit there. And I have, looks like eyeliner on my fingers. And again, I just pat it in. In any place that you put something really light, it pulls it out. If you want something to sink back in, you do it darker. You know, that's a lot of people sculpt with bronzers, and that's why they do that. Speaking of bronzer, I'm going to use the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. And again, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see the color, but I'll list it. I've had this Sephora brush for about a year, and I absolutely love it. You can see where I was using it to work this side of my face. So what I like about it is I don't rub, I just pat my brush on like that. And I'm going to use this sort of like a bronzer. I love the color. Something else I do is I put the bronzer, I pat it on under my chin. I have this lovely double chin. So I'm just going to pat that bronzer on there, sort of see if I need to do something here. Even it up. I think that's good. I did put just a tiny bit of Lorac. Oh gosh, can't see it, and I should know it by memory, but I'll list it. The same thing, I just pat my brush on it and get it right where I want it. Don't rub it in. And then just sort of smooth it all out with a big fluffy brush. Lips. Okay, lips. My Maybelline pencil to line my lips on the outside to try to keep my lipstick from bleeding. And then sort of push that in toward my lips. And today I am going to use a new lipstick that I just got the other day from Drew Barrymore Flower, her flower line at Walmart. And this is the color. First I'm going to use a pencil. I don't know what pencil. Let's see. I think I'll use this. I think this came from Sally's. You know, I think I've mentioned to you guys that I've thought about getting some filler in my lips because of my lips are just really falling and starting to turn under. But I tell you what, I was looking at some old videos of mine, and in videos where I went a little bit too far out of my lip line, I don't like my lips. So I don't want my lips to be too big, and you know, I'm sort of to the point of why even do it if they're going to be too big, or if you're just going to do a tiny little bit. If I'm going to go through the pain and the expense of it, I want you to know it. Try to even them up as much as I can. And now for the lipstick. And that is pretty much it. I guess I could take my clip out. I'll be back.